Hello, my friends. This is Andy over today's CBD Oil, coming to you live from Brea, California. Just returned from Orlando, Florida, where had a blast with my, like I said in the description, my peeps over there at Vasayo. And some very strange things have been happening over the last few weeks. And not that, love has not entered my mind before. That is not important. But, when you're a man, when you're a manly man, right, like me, and he begins talking about love, and it seems to be in every message that I've had over the last couple of weeks. It really begins. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. It really begins to, work on you just a little bit and really make you realize, wait a minute, this message keeps coming. And although I'm not the kind of person who kind of gets into all these, I'm getting messages from that kind of stuff. I am a Christian. This isn't necessarily a Christian-based show, but I guess there are signs. There are things that if you keep running into it over and over, that at some point you have to listen. And it reminds me of the Jim Carrey movie. What's it called? The God movie, right? Where he sees signs in everything that he's doing. And this keeps coming up. I interviewed Rick Gutman, who is the founder of Overcome Nation. And I was asking him, I said, what is the difference? Because since I've known him, I've not known him that long, a couple of years or a year and a half. I can't remember. I got to look it up when I first joined Vasayo. I've already forgotten. But when I was interviewing him, it seems that in the last month or two or three, that he's gone from just simply being the leader of Overcome Nation to really being something else, where I can tell in the way that he speaks. I can tell in what his messaging is. I can tell how much he cares by sometimes giving it to us, right? He's like, gives us a right cross, and it's with love, like tough love. Right. And so during that interview, I asked him, I said, what is the difference? What's happening? And the first thing he said, love. And this, again, is a manly man. I don't want to keep saying that because it sounds sexist, I guess, but you don't hear that from men very often, where, the important thing that we have to know is love. I'm sorry, I'm going to get rid of one of my banners that's running here because it's blocking, and this probably looks a little odd to people. But that was one of the first times I said it. And so when I made a snippet of that and created an Instagram post and a Facebook post, I took out that part because it wasn't what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting that coming from him, that the thing that's made him, that's taken him into this mentor position or this confidant position, where he becomes the confidant, the person you can go to and trust, that he's not telling you just because of selfish things. And that's going to be my point of this broadcast. I'm also going to be having, I think, some people join me on this broadcast. So I want to go into this a little bit deeper with them too, that it's not just me that's feeling this. Hopefully, it may be. You can tell me if you're going to join me that it's Andy, it's just you. You're having you're going through this weird thing. And so with that message, and then the snippet I took out, and then I go to the Vasayo conference, and it kept coming up. And I've made a post and shared some of the pictures of the event. And the one thing, I always ask people, what's the big takeaway? What was the biggest thing that you're going to take away from this event? And nobody, always, God, that's a tough one. There's so many things. But there was always something in this area of, I really felt Dallin's heart on Friday when he spoke, that when he spoke from stage, that he was laying his heart out there, and you felt this love that it was just exuding from his message, and what he wanted the company to be, and what he wanted the company to mean to us, and where he wanted the company to go. And then on Saturday, gosh, I'm getting my days all mixed up now. Yeah, it was Saturday. On Saturday, when Hands, the Hands program, where we dig wells for children and adults in Africa that don't have water, a water solution, Hearts and Hands, sorry, that. We raised $60,000 just from the people that were there, and Dallin matched it. He wanted to match whatever it was that we raised, so that was $120,000. And then Daniel Piku wanted to match that also, which now made it 200, a lot of money, $180,000, right? $180,000 was raised towards Hearts and Humanity to dig wells for children and adults that don't have water in Africa. And again, you just felt love. I mean, I sobbed I cried and sobbed like a big girl for 3-4 days in Orlando because of all of that emotion. And I'm thinking, God, am I going nuts? Am I crazy? What is happening to me? And what is this company and my team turning me into, right? This big wuss. How committed to leadership is Vasayo positioned everyone to win. I haven't seen anything. I have not seen anything like it in anything. I'm not a network marketer, and so it's just I've never felt this way. And so I wanted to create this broadcast and really kind of examine this love, because on the plane home before the Super Bowl started, I looked up to see what my church was doing, because they always post their message from the day, the service from the day. And what was the message? It was about love. It was about love. And the pastor was talking about when you have a love for your spouse, as the Bible writes, it is about that person, not about you. Everything you do is about that person. When you get married, when you're in a relationship, it's about that person that when you get married, when you start a relationship with somebody, that you're ending your needs, your desires, and putting that person's first. That's what love is. And then he talked about, and this is Chris Ward, our teaching pastor, and when he was talking about not just that relationship, but when he said, my boss, when I begin to work for Your Blended Friends Church, and my boss, which is Matthew Cork, that my commitment and my love for him in this church says that his needs for the church, that Matthew's needs, not Chris Ward, that Matthew's needs come first, to make him the best pastor possible, to help him become the best lead pastor possible, is his commitment based on what the Bible says. And then the church, and he said, pointing to us in the audience, right? That making it, Friends Church the best for you is what comes first, not his desires. That he's not going to choose a message that's best for him, but what's best for the church, but what's best for his boss, Matthew Clark. And so this message went on, and it just, again, it was the same message that I got with Vasayo, that they're positioning. And I know that you can look at me like I'm nuts. Those of you that are in the other network marketing organizations that say, you know what, they're just really, they obviously want to make money, and so they're going to do things to make money, and then hopefully we're going to get involved in that kind of stuff. That it's about making money, it's about selling more product, it's about bringing more people in, so they'll bring in more people, and that's not what I get from Vasayo. And I may be crazy, right? I may be nuts, and you can tell me so if you want to come in and join me. But that's not what you get. If you would have been to the conference, if you would have gone to the convention, you would know what I'm talking about. And if you missed it and you're not there and you've not joined me yet, and you decide to join me, I'm telling you, you may have missed the best convention that they've put on, because it was different. I don't know what to tell you. And I hope I'm not going to cry during this message, because if I do, hey, Lynn, nice to see you. You can join anytime you want to make sure that your camera's working. I think Lynn wants to join the broadcast later on, but I'm going to talk about a few things. I'm going to hopefully get done with that in about 15 to 20 minutes, I'm hoping. And then I want somebody to come on, whether it's Julie or Courtney or Kimberly. It's Kimberly's message, say here. There's so much love with the sale. It starts at the top and pours into all the leaders and pours into us. That room was filled so many loving people, which blessed us with a true miracle for hearts and hands. The whole convention was moved. No, shoot. I almost said something else. There's nothing wrong with making money. We need to survive, but helping. I don't want to make it that we're interested in making money, and I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit when I go through the banners here. April, even if anyone thinks there is unpure motive, that matters how God is speaking to you through your experience. Right. And so we're going to get into that a little bit. So let me go through some of these banners. I wrote down about 11 things that kind of came to my mind, some things that I read here and there from different stuff. And I put together 11 things that I want to bring in. But I just want to talk about the heart of Dallin Larson, Daniel Pico, and Vasayo is legitimate. I don't care who you are. This is one thing you're not going to be able to convince me. If you are a person who hates network marketing, if you hate those pyramid things, I don't care. I'm not there to I'm not in that place where maybe I would have listened to you. Maybe when I was with the other company, I would have said, you know, you're right. They're not authentic. They may be, all right, but I didn't get the feeling that they were, all right. So I don't want to say that they're not. I just want to say that I didn't feel it. I didn't feel what I feel over here at Vasayo, and I've given it enough time now that they have shown me. I've given enough time for them to fail, and they've not failed me yet. I'm going to tell you another story too along the way. Let me get rid of this other banner too, just so it doesn't look confusing here. And so the heart of Dallin Larson is real. I am convinced. I just saw it in his face, in his voice, in his actions, in what he talked about, in his words. I didn't believe he was reading a teleprompter all the time. I'm sure there was points like I have an agenda here that I want to hit, and so I look at that. But the words that came out of his mouth were real and spontaneous in some cases, and so I felt that. Daniel Pico, the same thing. I've not seen him wipe a tear away. I don't think in any other convention. And if he did, I must have missed it. But he was wiping away tears and sharing his faith, which I don't remember him doing before either. Nobody was apologizing for their faith, and so I felt it. And Vasayo is just an extension of Daniel Pico, Carrie Larson, and Alan Larson, and Dan. The other guy, I always forget his name, our Asian president. And then the heart of Rick Gutman and Overcome Nation, and the Overcome Nation team that we spend time with. And I was only at the mastermind for a short period of time, but I looked at everybody, and I've had a moment of time with many of them when they've interviewed me. I see them in the hallway. They go out of their way to say hi or give me a hug and say thank you for whatever I'm doing, whatever it is that I've done to either inspire them, I guess, or educate them with the EDS or cannabinoid system, or just that I go live and mess up and don't stop and keep going, right? And that hopefully encourages them. Well, Andy messes up and he doesn't care. I'm not going to care, whatever that is. Or he goes on looking the way he does and laughing the way he does, and he still does it and doesn't care over and over and over again. And so the heart of Rick, just the interview, if you haven't seen the interview that I did with Rick, even with the little glitch in the middle of the whole thing, if you watch that, again, I don't know how you can watch that and feel that it's not authentic, that it's not real, that where he is at right now, and I'm sure where he was before, but it's just now transitioned into this message of love. And it sounds weird saying it, but it is. It just is what it is. And so I got a couple messages here. Let me see. They really want to see people win. Yes. It's just crazy. You can use your phone, Julie. Is that what you're saying? Sorry, I'm on my phone. Yeah, you can use your phone. Yeah, it feels right. Zoo, thank you. I got to write that down. I have another Post-it note in front of me for other things that I forget all the time. I'm going to add Daniel Zoo to my list there. The other founder, he's the president of our Asian market. And so let me get to this next slide. So I just want to get through this in case some of you start to join me here so that we can bring you on. But the heart of Dallin Larson, Daniel Pico, Daniel Zhu, Carrie Larson, Vasayo, authentic. Rick Gutman, Overcome Nation, authentic. Everybody that's involved. And so I'm convinced love must be a part of everything we do. Relationships, parenting, friendships, business, chores, and play. And what that means from me. And I'm going to go through some of the list of the things of what it means to me. And because some of these things I wrote down are from my heart. Some of them, again, are things that I've read in books and that I've journaled, that I was able to find and put into the list. I put 11 things in that will kind of help guide me along here to talk about where love kind of fits in. But in everything we do, as a kid growing up, my parents never said I love you. My brothers and sisters, we never said I love you. It just didn't exist. And so there was not that message that I was getting early on. And so it's kind of a new thing for me. But I knew from the day that I had my first child that I love her. And my first wife, there was a period of time where I was deeply in love with her. And even my second wife, I was deeply in love with, and then we got married. And then things happen, right? And then you feel that change. But I don't know that I was the same person that I am now. I know the next relationship I am in a completely different spot. I know that I have to make sure that I understand this message of love, and that I have to put that person first as much as I possibly can. The other great part about the message from Chris Ward at my church was that he talked about, we're selfish. Yeah, we are selfish. We were born selfish. right? A child, in their first words or their first actions is about them, right? They cry when they're hungry. Feed me now. What are you waiting for? My diaper's dirty. Change it now, right? There's no it's okay. My diaper's dirty. Don't worry about it. Whenever you get to it, that's fine. No, a baby's like now, right? They start to talk. Me, I want that, and they grab things and they put it in their mouth, right? And it's about them. So we are born selfish, and so it takes a little bit of work to understand what the Bible tells. And I think that's why we need the Bible. It gives us direction, gives us instructions how to live our life. And God knows that that's one of the things we're going to struggle. It started with Adam and Eve, right? Because Adam, knows that the woman is how he calls her. The woman ate the apple, and he tells God, hey, it was her, right? Right away, he's blaming the woman. And that's how we are too, right? Adam right away goes, hey, it was her. It was her, and it's only because of her that I did it too. But it was because of her, right? And so right away we're already placing blame on somebody else. So the message isn't he wasn't saying that he's perfect. Chris wasn't saying he's perfect. That he has to put his boss first, that he puts the church first, and then puts his wife first. He was saying that that's what I'm supposed to do, but we are a little bit selfish. So we have to make sure that when we're talking about our parenting, and our friendships, and our business, and our chores, and our play, that all comes first, right? And so if we remember to do that, we're going to be a bit better off, right? And I'm so happy that, and again, this is going to bring me back to Vasayo and Overcome Nation, that being with the conference and going and not bailing, I had almost thought about not going. I saw a couple of people, I almost thought about not going, right? I know a lot of people that were going to go, hey, I'll see you there. I'll see you there. I'll be there, right? Sending you messages. And then I get there. Where are they? Oh, they didn't show up, or they canceled. I know people that said, hey, I was supposed to come with like 5 people. And now I got a room for 5 people and I'm here by myself. And everybody bailed on me, right? Things happen, right? But it's the conferences, it's being there and feeling it and being a part of it that recharges you and reminds you of why you stay here. And don't be flaky. Don't bail when things get tough, right? You have a lot of people that bail when things get tough, when it isn't what they thought it was going to be, that they weren't going to get rich fast, right? There's where that comes in, right? If you don't love the company, you don't love the team, you don't love your friends that you're surrounding, and the products, if you don't love the products, the moment that you feel that there's something not right, the moment you feel you're not getting what you were hoping to be getting right away, you're gone. Why? Because you haven't felt that love. You haven't made that commitment. Commitment is part of being in love, right? In love with something. Making the commitment is something about being in love. So let's go to the next thing. So I'm going to get distracted. I'm going to end up going off kilter here. But let's go to the next one. So how do you know when you are in love with life and what you do? And this is going to include relationships too. I wanted to make sure and continue to keep this targeted on why I'm at Vasayo, why I'm in Overcome Nation, why I feel the way that I do, that maybe I'm not making as much money as I write right now, but whose fault is that? Is that my fault? No, because they've done everything, right? Vasayo's done everything with the apps, especially with the new additions that they've added, which I will talk a little bit about later on. But they're always looking at a way, they're showing their love for us by making things better for us as much as they possibly can. It's still a business. They still have to pay the bills. They still have to be able to pay out people. They still have to be able to take the trips, which motivate people. They still have to do that. So at some point, it's still a business where they have to make money. But they find a way. They find, okay, can we change the payout so that it's more beneficial to the brand partners? Can we do this? And if the answer is yes, they make the change, right? Even if it causes a little pain and discomfort. So how do you know? How do you know? So number one, I want to talk about, you don't struggle to stay focused on the task at hand because you are so engaged. You're so in love with what it is you're doing. It's not hard. When you are not in love with something, right? We've all had jobs that we really didn't like. And as soon as you get there, the first distraction is talking to one of your fellow employees. The first distraction when you log into your computer to open up to the app that you're going to use, whether you're an accountant or whatever, if you're not in love with what you do, you're going to get distracted by something else on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, again, talking to your neighbor. Hey, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, nothing. And now an hour or two goes by because you're more in love with yourself and your needs and your wants, that now you're struggling to stay focused. Because if you truly love what you did, and if you loved your boss, right, and if you loved your business and the customers, then your focus, it's harder to take your focus off that. And so being in love. So I love the Vasayo products. Oh, I didn't bring into the Beleza over here. Gosh darn, I have 9 bottles of Beleza over there. But if you love Eternal, if you love V3, if you love Renew and CBD1 and all the other products, if you love those things, which I do, like me, it's easy to remember to wear my my bling, my hat, and my shirt. I don't have it on right now, but I did at the gym earlier on. You wake up wanting to put those things on, right? You stay focused with the task at hand, and you don't veer often. Right, you may wear something different here and there, but I live it, right? I live this stuff. It's everywhere here. I have things. I have brochures of Vasayo. I have dog brochures here that I carry around with me. I have stuff, and it becomes part of your life, and so you don't struggle. All right, the next thing, number 2. You talk about the good things other people do instead of talking about other people. So you talk about the good things. Have you ever, I don't know if anybody's been around me, if you've ever heard me talk bad about somebody, I may say, I'm not sure if I believe that person or something like that. Or, you don't hear often. Now, again, we're going to hear on occasion, and I have heard, certain things about certain people on a very minimal basis. But the majority, I can tell you for sure, is about the good things other people do, not talking. And I don't hear people talking about other people very often. We're always talking about how great the leadership is, how great the founders are, how great it is. We have 2 new doctors on our scientific team that we added 2 great new people to our team, and it's not hard to do that because we love the company. We love it. And when you're in convention, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. We kind of laugh about other people, how they do things, that kind of stuff. And that's part of it. But we do focus as much as we possibly can on the good things other people do. Let me look and see what the comments are over here really quick. I would love to re-interview you about what you get out of the weekend. Okay, cool. Did you find a woman? Did I find a woman? No, not yet. I'm always open though. I've met some very, you're going to get me in trouble here. All right. Let's look at this one. I never wanted anything to do with network marketing until I came across this company that wanted to truly help others. It is honestly a disservice for us not to share how special this company is. It is incredible how we can prosper from helping other people. Yes, the money will come. All right. I don't want you to think that I could care less about making money, because I'm in this business for an income and to build a legacy for my children. That is my goal. But it's going to be a hell of a lot easier when you look at these things first. All right, number 3, you enjoy your time even when it is work. When you're building your list of people that you're going to contact and talk to, when you are reading through the brochures, when you're watching the training videos, when you join a training video with Rick on training night, and you're spending an hour and a half watching his video, you're enjoying it, even though that's part of your job, even part of your work. I have been part of a job that I hated and I didn't enjoy it, and that's a miserable way to live, right? But when your work includes the people that you love, when it includes the products that you love, when it includes the company that you love, and the Hearts and Hands organization that that at some point you're going to be able to build an income that you too will be able to build a well, there's nothing that feels like work. Because every part of it involves your love for the products, the business, the company, the people that you're around, the team that you're on, and everything about that company. And so that's how you know that you're in love. All right, number 4, you think about winning instead of surviving. You're thinking about winning constantly as opposed to, I can barely make it. I buy products like crazy because I know when I buy a product, I'm going to give it to somebody and I'm going to be winning, and I'm going to help out somebody else to be a winner as I go forward. I don't worry. There's a thing like, well, you should worry because if you can't pay the bill. Yes. So you got to be smart about it. But I think about winning more than I think about surviving. I know that I will survive. I always know. And that's one of the things that my assistant doesn't like about me is that I'm always positive, even when things are a little dire, because on occasion they can become dire. Like I accidentally paid 3 or 4 payments on my house payment. I don't know if I think that was the website. I'm going to blame them. I just invalidated my earlier message, but I made a payment online, and they have a brand new website, and I swear I only made 1 payment, but instead I made 4 payments. I don't know, it was $12,000 $14,000, something like that I made according to them. And it wiped out all my accounts. Things are dire, right? And she called me and said, why did you make those payments? And she's like all upset and crazy. And I'm going, it'll work itself out. She goes, how do you do that? Why do you not get, because I'm focused on winning, right? I know that these things work themselves out, and I'm not worried about surviving because I know that things will work out. You just got to stay positive. You have to work forward and not, escape and quit when things get tough. I've seen people suddenly quit and go to other network. I'm going to go to another network company and see if that one works. That one does work. I'm going to go to another. And I know people already that have gone from 1, 2, 3 different network marketing companies, even left ours because they think that, I can earn faster over here on this one thing. That's not going to work. I am telling you, I have looked around. I have been attempted to be recruited by other network marketing companies since I've written a couple books on it and my experience and that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you that Vasayo is the place to be. There is no other place to be. I feel it in my heart. I feel it at convention. I don't know why you're busy with these other ones. They're the ones that I could name, and I'm not going to name them. I don't know why you're busy with those other companies when the right place to be is Vasayo because of what they are doing. We just added 4 new features and fixes that make it easier to win. We've added a couple other programs that are just crazy great, right? Especially like the veterans program is fantastic and great. And so it's hard not to be focused on winning as opposed to surviving because they are making it so much easier to win. And getting impatient and giving up too soon. Giving up too soon is not giving it 4 or 5 years. Right? If you've only given it 6 months, if you only given it a year, you've made a huge mistake. You've jumped ship because you know the heart of Dallin Larson. You know the heart of Daniel Piku. You know that their heart is to find a way to make you win. If you're not winning now, just stick around because at some point they may change things or they may teach you something that you thought you were doing that you're not doing. Rick Gutman is there. Kimberly Bacher is there. Matthew is there. Everybody's there. Courtney, who's on earlier, is here. You just call them and say, okay, I don't understand why I can't do this. And they'll say, have you tried this other thing? And you go, oh, no. I have to try that. I heard like 4 or 5 things from people today on stage. And as I had lunch with them, say, this is what I do. And I go, oh, I got to do that. That's what I don't do. Right. That's all. It just takes a little shift. For those of you playing golf, right? You're trying to hit the green and you slice it or you hook it or you drive it into the ground or you hit the grass behind the tee, right? How much of a change do you need to make to have success? Not much, just a little tiny shift, right? You may need to move your back foot, maybe a half an inch, to the right or to the left. Or you may need to stand up just a little bit more, just a kind of little bit, right? Just a half it. It doesn't take much. It's just these little tiny changes and shifts and you have success. It's just if you don't make that little tiny shift, you'll never have success because you're going to keep slicing and keep slicing because you've not decided to make that shift. You haven't gone to the right person, the right coach, the right mentor that will say, oh, I can see why. It's because your right foot is canted out just a little bit, canted in to the left a little bit. And all of a sudden, bam, you hit the green, right? But you needed somebody that's not so close to your body as you are to see that you need to make that little tiny shift. And you refuse to ask that person, right? You refuse to take that step. You refuse to watch Rick Gutman's videos every week because it may not be this message. It might not be Sunday's message. It may not be Monday's message. But if you keep watching, you're going to run into the message and he's going to come into the and it's going to click. And, oh, that's the one I needed, right? But you need to continue going and you need to think about winning and not surviving. Because if you're only thinking about surviving, you're going to quit and you're going to try to do something else. Wow, did I go out long on that one and went a couple different directions? Sorry. They sent us the hey, Loretta, nice to see you. And the customer program, yes. What else you got there? The only way to fail is to quit, commit, and stay focused, shift the mindset, but never quit. Exactly. If you're focused on surviving, you're going to quit and you're going to go get a regular job. Which you don't want to do if you've been around the training. All right, number 5, you're excited about what you're doing. I'm excited about am I excited about what I'm doing? Am I excited now? Do you see it? This is not made up. I just came back from massage. And I had to cut my massage short because I remembered that I had set this up, and I was so into the massage. I thought about going 90 minutes. While I was there, I changed it from an hour to 90 minutes, and then about into the 90 and from 60 minutes to 90 minutes. And so at about the 65th minute, I realized, wait a minute, this is going to put me at the wrong time, and so I had to cut my massage short because I'm excited about this. You know, in a case where you're not excited, let the time expire, and I'll just set it for another time. Right? So easy to do. How easy is it to do when you're having like a massage after I've ridden on a plane from Orlando, Florida, sat in a chair for 3 or 4 days, however long it's been, walked a mile back and forth between my hotel and the host hotel every day, and sometimes more than once in one day. It would have been much easier to stay on that massage table, getting a fantastic massage, by the way, to say, you know what, I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to let my broadcast expire. I'll just do it when I get home. I go, no, I was more excited about coming here talking to you than staying there with a massage, right? And so that is just a weird example, but it's an example that when you're excited about what you're doing, when you love what you're doing, you know, when you're excited about what you're doing, you are in love with what you're doing, right? I'm excited about talking to you, even though I can't see you. I can't hear you commenting. I can't say. I'm excited about giving you the message and watching the numbers kind of go up and down, right? As I'm going on this thing and seeing your comments of affirmation that you're feeling the same thing and I'm not alone. And mostly it's women, right? I haven't had a guy yet, you know, say, "Hey, Andy, yeah, I love you too, man." I have a lot of women saying, "I love the event. I love the hearts and hands." And again, I just had 2 more people drop off. But that is, I'm excited. I'm excited if I see 0 people watching. I'm still equally as excited because I love this company so much. All right, number 6, you hardly ever watch the clock. You're not sitting there. I actually forget to eat. I forget. It'll be, I swear it's like noon, and then I look out the blinds, which my office that I do most of my work over here, there's blinds behind it, and then I'll look out and I go, oh, it's dark. When did it get dark? Right? I'm not busy watching the clock as I'm creating these posts, doing research to do this broadcast and kind of writing things down and writing down notes, hoping I'm going to go into the right direction and not bore you to tears so that you're signing off in the middle of my message, that people are going to watch the replay and watch it all the way through, right? I don't worry about it, but I want to try my best to make sure that people stick around to see how this thing ends and where it goes. But I don't watch the clock. I'm so busy creating things and doing things for this great company, which is my company, which is your company, those of you that are with me in Overcome Nation and Vasayo, that I don't watch the clock. And that was like as a police officer, there'd be times I'd be working. There'd be days, of course, I couldn't wait to go home. But there were times we were having so much fun chasing bad guys and sending the police dog to go bite people and running to a shooting in a certain part of the neighborhood. They say, shots fired, and you drive your car so fast. You get there and literally our front wheels would be on fire. It would be so awesome. You can hear, you can smell the stuff burning there. Hey, Lynn, join me here, and I'll bring you on in just 1 second. But you wouldn't be watching the clock because you'd be having so much fun chasing bad guys, and it'd be so much fun. Same thing with the sale. There's no bad guys here, but I have so much fun doing it. I'm going to get through these. I'm going to probably bring you on in the middle of all this. This is just to see. So make sure your hair is how you like it. I just saw you flipping your hair. All right. Number 7, you view success in terms of fulfillment and gratification. In terms of fulfillment and gratification, not always looking at your bank account, not always looking about how much money you're making, but are you fulfilling and being fulfilled? Sorry, if you're being fulfilled and gratification of helping other people, helping people. My fulfillment and gratification is when I tell people about one of the products, they take it and they go, "Oh my gosh." I felt it different when Stacy Bonner, who is a medic in the military in the war zones, and showed me the bag of medication that she took for her PTSD and the pain and discomfort that she was feeling. When she showed me that trash bag and saying, "Look at this, Andy, this trash bag of medication, I can now set it aside because you and my cousin, shared the great products over at Vasayo, that she can put away those drugs." And now that is, I'm focused on the fulfillment and the gratification of being able to do that for people, as opposed to constantly checking my back office, see how much money. Now, I know there's people that do. I know. But that's not where my satisfaction comes from. My satisfaction comes from the fulfillment and gratification being part of it. So one more, Lynn, and then I'll bring you on when I finish up the last three. So just so you know, just warning you. All right. You help others without thinking. And that is the great thing, right? People message me. I can't tell you how many private messages I get for people asking me questions, and I'll send them a video. And people may be on, come on now, and you can maybe support me in this, is that I don't think about, people come on this, one of the most common questions, say, hey, Andy, I know you were with HempWorks before. I have somebody I'm talking with HempWorks. Can you tell me why you changed from HempWorks to Vasayo? And there's a video that I made, and I go to, and get it, and I send them the file of the video that shares all the information in there. And I am so happy to share that with them. And I say, if you have any more questions after watching that video, get a hold of me and let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you. And it happens without a thought process. I don't think, oh gosh, I wish these people quit bugging me. No, I love to help others without, it doesn't even enter my consciousness. And I'm not that nice of a person. I mean, I'm kind of nice, but I'm not so nice that I drop everything to do. But I just do it now. And say, just like I love my kids. Like my daughter will say, Dad, I want to go to 7-Eleven to get something. And I'll be in socks and, and not ready to go to 7-Eleven for whatever reason, because I'm busy doing something else. But I get my keys and I get in the car and I take her. Maybe I should take her to 7-Eleven, but I don't think about it. Why? Because I love her. Again, this is a message about the love of something, right? The love of doing something, the love of your children cause you to do things without thinking about it. And I know that I love this company, and I know I love the people in Overcome Nation. And I don't care if you're another team. I love the people of Vasayo. If Daniel Pico called me and said, hey, Andy, could you find a Salt Lake City and help us with something? I would get on a plane and fly to Salt Lake City on a day that I didn't have the kids probably, and go there and help them with it. And whether they were paying me or not, it doesn't matter to me. I would go because I have that thing without thinking. And that is how it goes. So let me just, Lynn, let me look at the comments really quick, and then I'm going to bring you on. So hold on one second. Nabi says he loves me. Thank you, bro. I like that. See, when guys say that I love you, they always have to include bro, right? Or a muscle, or a fist bump, right? They can't just say I love you. They have to say, hey, bro, right? And they give it kind of the side hug. They don't give like the hug. All right, and making a difference. Hey, Loretta, yes. How awesome! Thank you. All right, Lynn, I'm going to bring you on here really quick. Hey, Lynn, how are you?
Hey, Andy, good. How are you?
Oh no, oh, there you are. Now there was a delay. I'm good. I'm having fun.
How you doing?
I'm good. I got a massage. I feel better. I was a little sore from sitting in the seats. She even like put her elbow in my buttocks, right, like that. It worked my lower back and my buttocks. And so it was awesome. But I had to say, oh, I think I got to go. So I'm good. How are you? How was your trip home? Are you home?
I'm good. Yeah, trip is great. I am refreshed and feeling amazing. Actually, it was quite an experience. It was really
awesome. All right, let me get through a couple more of these things, and you can chime in if you like. Where was I? You help without thinking. Number 9. I have 12. I thought I had 11. I have 12. Sorry. All right. So you find solutions instead of griping about problems. It's huge, right? When you love what you're doing, you're so looking forward to find, in my dog training business for whatever, how many years, 15, 20 years, I was doing my dog training business. Things would happen, right? And you would have to find a solution. I had so many employees, and I could have sworn I was giving them a loving place to work, right? But not all employees that come to you are there for the right reasons, right? They lie to you to get the job, and then about 2 or 3 weeks later, they stop doing the work, no matter how great you make it for them. And then they begin to gripe about, oh, what, you wanted me to actually think and process and problem solve? Yeah, right.
Well, not only that, but they want to complain, but they don't want to make a change.
What's that?
They want to complain, but they don't want to make a change either.
Right.
So, one of those things where really, if you're unhappy, you have to make a change. And a lot of this is about, keeping positive in any way, shape, and form, and just making sure that you're in the right place at the right time, and doing something that you love, like you talked about.
Yeah, and I mean, you could look for solutions and be wrong. I don't care. I asked him. I said, well, how did you try to solve that problem? Oh, I came to you. I go, you didn't try to fix it. You just the customer.
Big thanks.
But I didn't care if you were wrong. At least try. As I tell my children too. I said, the first thing they do when they can't find something, they ask me. I said, well, did you try to find it? Well, no, I thought I'd just ask you. Well, I'm not answering your question. Go look for it first. If
Mhm.
you can't find it, then come and see me and then I'll help you out. But I need you
Yeah.
to put in an effort first.
That's
I'm not
right.
gonna,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna help you
Yeah.
out. So, all right. Number 10, you hope to get more work instead of dread it. Yes. I've been a part of stuff like, oh, and I
Mhm.
have to do more stuff. Like, I remember I'm trying to remember back when I had jobs that I didn't really like. I just took them because I needed the money. And when a new truck would deliver something, so I was working in a warehouse once, they'd be delivering tires. It was the tire warehouse. And it would be towards the end of the day, and you'd see this truck coming in with more tires, and you go, oh, damn it. I thought it was
Mhm.
fun. I thought
Mhm.
I thought I could pretend I was doing work for like an hour, and then I would
Yeah.
go home. Right?
So true.
But
Mhm.
but in this business, and Lynn, let me know if this, when you get a phone call or a text message or somebody reaching out, hey, I saw what you're doing online. Can you tell
Mhm.
me more about it? That
Yeah.
you want to jump on it right away, as opposed to,
Right away.
I'm gonna ignore that and look at it tomorrow.
Yep.
Right?
Nope. Right
That's not
away.
how this works here.
Nope.
You,
You're
you
right.
jump on it right away.
Mhm. Yeah. Of
And
course.
the one thing, it can't be, and it's not again, for me, it's not the money that motivates me. I would love to have
No,
them
me
on
neither.
so that when they
I
join
want to
me on
help
the left
people.
leg and the right leg, and I begin to make more money. But I'm hoping that I'm going to have a solution, whether it's selling them a product that
Mhm.
works or helping them become successful and make more money. Right? That's where that should be. Not only, again, is it benefit us? Absolutely. I'm not going to be totally off whack and say that I don't care that I build my team. I want to build my team, but I want to do it out of the position of love, where I
Mhm.
want to help them and help them be successful too.
Mhm. Yep. Me too. If you come from a really good place where you want to help people, I think that it brings an overall, positivity to you. And, kind of like one of those things that's a pay it forward mentality that I have. If you do good and you really want to help others, other positivity will come back to you in different forms, and it kind of comes around for full circle, you know.
Absolutely. So I noticed that my last two actually are kind of a little bit, they kind of tie into a couple. I'll just go through them really quick because I already talked about them. But you're working for the bigger picture. The big picture is the helping hands to creating a legacy for the children, for helping millions of people. And Dallin wants to now help 20 million people and create,
I know.
millions of billionaires. Right?
Amazing.
That is his goal. It's, again, he never really, you never get the idea, because he's already a billionaire. Why does he need more money? That he's
He
doing it
doesn't.
to make money, right? He's
Yeah,
doing it to create a legacy,
that's right.
to help people be successful, to
Hmm.
help people be healthy. If he didn't
Hmm.
care about people being healthy, would he put so much effort to making sure that he had a great scientific team that put
Hmm.
together products that actually work,
Hmm.
right? To go to Italy to find the company that is the leader in liposome technology to create the skincare product that actually works? No, he wouldn't do that. They would cut corners,
Of
and
course not. He
so it's
wouldn't
about,
even be out of retirement.
yeah,
If he was doing it for the money, he wouldn't even do it because he has
right,
enough money. It's not
right,
about money. It's about helping people and blessing lives.
yeah.
He has a strong relationship with his faith and his religion, and he really is he comes from a real place of love, you know.
Absolutely. All
Loves
right. And then
people.
the last one I talked about already is that you don't bail when things get tough. I talked about that in when I was writing out my show flow. I didn't know that I was going to go on a rant on another one and then take this round. But that's the thing. I feel so badly for some of the people that I know they were so fired up, 6 months ago,
I
uh,
know.
or whenever. And now I know a couple of them. I just found out over the weekend when I was looking for them, like to tell them, hey, you should have been here, that they're no longer friends with me.
Oh,
And I go, where'd you go? I'm
uh-oh.
pretty sure that I didn't upset them. I just think they didn't want to hear me constantly talking about Vasayo. I'm guessing.
Well,
And so you bail, right? When things get tough. Remembering that I don't think that, and again, I'm going to have you answer. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to have you put in your 2 cents here. But I do not believe that if, with everything that Vasayo gives us, the app, and now they even added a customer app,
wow.
with the programs that they create, with the social media posts that they create, the
Mhm.
videos are crazy good that they've been creating lately.
Crazy.
Then Overcome Nation with Rick Gutman, with the training and all the videos, the hundreds of videos that are in our business school, with all of that if you, and I'm guilty of this. I don't follow everything that they do. I know because I see it. I go, God, I got to do that. I don't know why I
I
don't do
know.
that. that it's not Vasayo's fault that you're not successful. It's not
That's right.
Overcome Nations you're not successful.
It's this person's fault. It's this person's fault.
Right.
Accountability. Mm-hmm.
That I think
That's
if
the
you
fault. It's what your activity matches your success. So
right.
if you know, and I'm guilty of it too. You go through phases in life where it kind of knocks you down a little bit, and you just don't have that mojo to kind of keep going with everything in your life. And some things take a hit, and sometimes it's it's your business, and sometimes it's your sleep, and sometimes it's all of it, or different pieces of parts of it. And so that's the tough thing about it, because you have to eventually get yourself out of that. And that's what our team does for you. If you plug in and you actually do what you're supposed to do with the personal development, and just trying to really keep yourself motivated and kind of happy and positive, it all kind of comes together. And that I actually fell off, and I was debating not even going to this conference this last time, and I am so glad that I went. It just really showed me how much the company is willing to do for people's success.
Absolutely. I was kind of convinced before, but for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, me too. Even more so now, though. I just really, I had never been to a Vasayo convention before. I had been to some team convention, Overcome Nations, boot camps, things like that, but never one from Vasayo. So it was a new experience for me in that way. And of course, it hands down, it was unlike any other experience I've ever had. Just incredible.
Yeah. I met new people.
Me too.
Seeing you again and seeing other people, and people seem to be even more focused. Now, the last event we went to, we all kind of partied a little bit and had a really good time. But for whatever reason, this one seemed more of a uniting. And again, I could be completely off base, but for me, it was uniting. A lot more connection with people and getting to know people a little bit more, and seeing people focused. And a lot of tears. I have a big baby. I don't know what the hell's going on with me. They've turned me into mush. And I had a couple of moments where I audibly actually made a noise of emotion. And I went, what the hell? And it was when Dallin was talking. Dallin was talking and talked about being in, when he goes to heaven and has this moment in front of God. And he described it. And I almost had to walk out of the room. But
I was right there with you.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I really was. Yeah. It doesn't take much for me, but I really was right there with you. And he just,
good.
Yeah, just, his story is amazing. And even the story he shared about his sister, with network marketing, and then being able to afford treatments, expensive treatments for his niece, who is his sister's daughter. And she was very ill. And so that was a really great story.
Yeah, I think she needed a heart and 2 lungs. It was something incredible,
incredibly long, painful, expensive, and all the above. So,
yeah, and you were talking about just a minute ago. We talked about it's what you put into it, and then that is the thing. Like I can come up with every excuse that I have 5 kids and they need to eat, so I got to feed them.
A little bit of an excuse, right there, just a little.
But I may be using it a little bit too much. I gotta kind of now find this happy medium, and it may take me longer because I don't want to sacrifice my time with my children in order to do that. I make a pretty good living on other stuff, so I allow myself to do that. But you have other people, like the lady that just got awarded Diamond this weekend, that they showed her story, where she committed. She was pregnant and had kids, and committed all of her time.
Wow.
And did sacrifice time with her kids, where her kids told her, "Hey, I don't want you doing this anymore because we never see you."
I know.
For me, I could not do that. I kind of felt bad for her.
I felt so bad.
But she was a diamond, right? So she became a diamond and helped lots of people, right? And so you can do it. I mean, it is all here for you. She drove hours to meetings and meeting with you, like 4 hours she talked about, and then driving 3 hours in the same day somewhere else to do a meeting, and then driving 2 hours home. So this was like 1 day out of 6 or 7 days out of the week that she did this. Now you can do that, right? You have everything possible that you need to be able to do that.
You have every tool that you will need for success. You are
Yep.
set up 100% completely for success, but you have to use the tools. So
Yep.
that's where, where it's at with that. And, the beauty of the business with network marketing is you can mostly do it in pockets of time that you have, and mostly spend with your kids. I mean, I don't spend that much time away from my son. A little bit, when he's got weekends that correspond and they're different, but not too often. I find that, I have a freedom in my schedule a little bit more, even, doing this than I do with my office job as a hygienist. So, can't really, go pick them up from school that day and, work around a schedule like that. So, her dedication is what did that for her. And now she can kind of maybe, sit back a little bit and enjoy some moments with her kids.
I didn't hear that in her message. I was waiting for that part. Like, okay, now you're gonna spend time with your kids, and I'm not putting her down. She's driven. She has a great husband who supported her all along the way. So again, I don't want to make it sound that way. I love my kids so much. I'm very strange, I guess, in that I
actually realized that that's my goal in life. That is my number one goal, to spend the most time with my child while he's little. And he still wants to be with his mother. There's going to come a time where he's not going to want to hang out with me. Yeah. And I want to take advantage of that time now. So I realize that that's my biggest goal right now, until he's a little older, is to spend as much time with him as I can.
Right. And I see people like David Everett is a neighbor of mine. I know that he would kill it in this business because he's a sales guy and that kind of stuff. But
David, what's up?
I've never approached him. See, and I wonder, is that the problem with me?
Yeah, that is, because that's called a chicken list.
Yeah,
that's someone you're too chicken to reach out to because of fear.
I know, and I know if he went to one of these things and learned about all the things we have available to us, what we can do and how you can help people, that kind of stuff. And he's a hockey dad, and has. He's a giver. He knows what it means to create and build young men into adults and that kind of stuff. And and that's kind of that thing that you're helping people grow to learn a skill set, to become business owners, to get out of the job area where you're taxed at the highest level, where you can come in to be and make passive income. How important all that is to pass on to other people, and he would be perfect for it. But he just said, "I'm afraid." Oops, wrong one.
What did he say?
David,
that's funny. David, but you're already a mentor. You've already set up for really great here, because you're in that place. So.
Oh, look at Dobby from Australia. He says, you're doing David a disservice by not telling him about the opportunity.
Yes,
we're around each other. We drink together all the time.
Tell him about it before you drink.
I know. Loretta says they grew up way too fast. That is for sure.
It is,
and you talk about
true.
When they don't want to hang. Like my 25-year-old, she was just here hanging out. She does her wash at my house and hangs out. And we go out.
That's nice.
We go out and party together still. I don't know if that's good, but we still go out and party. Let's see what else we got here. We got Steve Hunt in San Diego. Andy, love you, guy, big guy. See how guys are? See, it's I love you, and then big guy. Right? There's always the man part.
I know. I laughed when you said that. Actually, it is so true. Men have to keep a little testosterone in there, with comments.
Chuck Knight, he and I were canine handlers together. He was my mentor. Great guy. He became a sergeant, and he did all the security for the Angels.
Nice. Hi, Chuck.
The TMI has to do probably with the elbow, elbowing my butt, probably.
Oh yeah. I just ignored that, actually.
Felt so good. All right. So Lynn, before we end this, number one, did I describe that love? Do you think that this company, just, what is the word I'm looking for? It's just like it is love. I don't want to be so weird and crazy.
I think the word for me is just overwhelming. It's overwhelming in the way that you go somewhere in your life and you go through all these trials and tribulations, and you realize that not everybody has your best interest at heart. They don't. And, you think to yourself when you get involved in something like this that maybe they don't. And then, you know, I I don't know. I just think overall that the message there is love, and they have truly your best interest at heart. They don't want anything from you. They
Yeah.
truly don't. They just want to help you succeed. They want to help people
Yeah.
feel better. And that comes from a place of, sacrifice, and somebody that and doesn't want for themselves. They're doing for others, and it's just, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Yeah. And the one thing I thought about, and I wasn't sure how to put it, and I'm not sure that I'm still going to put it in a good way, but in a marriage relationship,
Hmm.
where if you just go day after day of just going through the motions, that at
Hmm.
some point it's just going to get stale and stagnant, and you're
Yeah.
going to fail, you're going to give up, you're going to give in to
Hmm.
temptation, you're going to get all these things because you've
Of
done
course.
nothing to
Hmm.
feed and remind you of how important it is to put them first. So
Hmm.
what we do and should do is that you go on dates every once in a while, right? Or you go on vacation once in a while. I can share this with experience.
Hmm.
And even counseling when necessary. Counseling would be like convention. Counseling would be
Hmm.
watching a mentor speak about marriage and the importance
Yes.
of dating again, of putting another person first, of leaving them notes, of telling them how beautiful they are, handsome they are in the morning, even when they're not,
Hmm.
or whatever, or giving them a hug, and all these kinds of things. Those things you need reminders, and those people that don't go to convention, the people that do give in to, it's just too much, costs too much, it's just too much time. I don't want to watch Rick tonight because I'm got other things I need to do. When you begin to do that's again, it's like a marriage, right? It's too
Yeah.
much work to go on vacation. It's too much work to go to a counselor. It's too much work to go to church, to the marriage event that they have, once a year.
Hmm.
You don't go to listen to a speaker about marriage and that kind of stuff. But that's necessary in anything. It's necessary in
Hmm.
this business. That if you don't engage and participate, that it's going to get stagnant, and
That's right.
you're going to
Hmm.
give into the temptation of trying something else
Hmm.
and going somewhere else.
It's like any, I hate to, it's kind of like a relationship, like you compared it to. You have to nourish every relationship. So
Yeah.
even friendships, it's always a give and take, and you have to um, be sensitive to other people's needs, wants, desires, those type of things. And you know, um, when you are looking at it in kind of like context of a relationship, you have to kind of reboot yourself every once in a while, and kind of, make it new and fresh. And sometimes, if we're going to compare that to kind of like the Vasayo thing, when you go to a convention, they bring out new products, and they have, like, in our example, it's a new comp plan, and it's
Hmm.
a thing that they did which really held near and dear to me, about veterans, and all sorts of introducing all sorts of new amazing things that actually are all for the greater good, and all to
Yep.
help you build your business. So it's like clicking a refresher button, a restart charger, and it literally kickstarts your business, just like if you were to nourish that relationship with a partner or spouse, and you were to invest in that by doing something extra special, or something a little bit new or different, and kind of respark everything.
Yeah. And then we didn't even talk about the service on Sunday or the mastermind event after the service on Sunday. I mean,
Mhm.
it just kept going, right? And I heard the mastermind was amazing. I had to leave
I did too.
after an
I
hour,
didn't make it.
unfortunately, but I've heard that it was amazing. That
Me
it
too. I was
was
so not happy that I didn't make that, but I had already had my flight, and I had to get home for my son. So
all right.
hopefully the next time I can plan better. But yeah, I know, I heard it was so good, and I think we're just really two blessed people to be involved in this great company.
Yep. What was your just before we leave? What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment, Dallin speaking. I
Yeah.
hadn't really met Dallin before, and I hadn't really heard him speak in person, and just really hearing him reiterate that, he's already millions, he's got money, and he came out to build a legacy, and to bless a million lives, and it's not about money for him, and it's really about, the take home message for me was that everybody's there to really just serve your best interests and help you win.
Yeah. Mine too. You got me on that one. That's I mean, there's other, I mean, a bunch of other ones, but for as
Yeah.
far as the
Oh,
event,
that's just the topper. That's just the top of the list,
As far as the
Go for
event's
it.
concerned, that definitely was my favorite. And he's a great speaker, and he always does a great
Amazing.
job. For that
Mhm.
to be your first introduction to Dallin on stage,
Mhm.
wow. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if he's going to be able to live up to it from that point on, but I'm sure he will.
I
But
can actually feel his emotion in his words. It's
yep.
not like, somebody on stage where I can listen and I'm not like, oh, well, that was good, or whatever. But I actually feel like I can connect with his words and what he says with an emotion. And I actually
Yeah.
really, I was a bit surprised about that, about myself. Actually, I didn't really expect that so much, but I really did resonate with a lot of what he said.
Yeah, it was great hearing him because I couldn't see him because my eyes were full of water. Such a wuss.
Yeah,
Such a
dude.
gooey man. All right. Well, Lynn, thank you for joining me. We didn't spend that much time together. We kind of hide and sat
No.
next to each other for a little while, but
Yeah, that's
we
great.
kind of
Perfect.
it was a
Thank you
great
so much
event.
for having me on.
All right, no problem. All right, you guys, we were on for an hour. I can't believe I talked for an hour. But make sure and let me know if you're watching the replay. And if you are not with me, because I see a lot of people that are with Overcome Nation, that kind of stuff, reach out. Let me tell you more about it. Let me get you on a 3-way call with some of our leadership. You'll love them. And let's get going because this
Get
is the right company at the right time.
Mhm.
And we're going to kill it going forward, especially with our new skincare too, which I didn't even show you. All
Oh,
right.
amazing
that,
stuff.
that is it. Thank you, Lynn, once again for joining. I appreciate you and love you on my team.
Love everyone on the team too. Have a great night.
All right. Love you guys. Happy Valentine's
Bye.
Day. Bye.